it's Di here from Di's Den. Welcome back to another week's video. This week I'd like to show you how I made this card. It's called a corner catch card because of this corner here. And what happens is it comes out of there so that you can read the insert and write it in. It will stand up like this, but then you can't see the front of the card, and I don't like the way that does that. So it's nice to be able to tuck that back in there, and it has a stand on the back so it will stand up nicely so you can actually see the card. So I've done, this one was my original one that I did as my template. This is using the Gleaming Christmas set, which is retired. This is using, I think it's called Heartwarming paper, which is a carryover from last year, and this set is called, let's see, Be Jolly, and I just love it. I love these whimsical looking beautiful things here. So I've actually already done my Father Christmas, which is this Santa, and we're going to use the sleigh along with the little bird and the star here. So this one I did with the other Santa and the Christmas tree. This I did for my colour creation, which was this colour is called Granny Apple Green, which I really love. Green's my favourite colour, so it wasn't too hard to work out. So we're going to be using this saying here, wishing you a Merry Christmas, the same as this on this card. So let's get through and tell you what you need. Now I'm using this set again. I love this set. It's just beautiful, which has got the wishing you a Merry Christmas, and we are also using the It's a Most Wonderful Time of the Year out of that set. And I've already done these, so I won't be stamping these, but I will show you what we did. Okie dokie, let's see what we've got here. We've got a card base, and this measures 4 1/8 by 11 3/4. For my panels, in my tutorial it says lower and upper panels. So for my lower panel, you'll need a piece of card that measures 2 and, I can't read that from that distance away, even with my glasses on, 2 3/4 by 3 7/8. I think that's the 2 3/4 one. Yep. And then the designer series paper to go on the top of it, which is a retired from last year, but I just wanted to do a non-traditional coloured card, so I'm using this, and it's called Sahara Sand, and this piece measures 2 1/2 by 3 5/8. For my upper level, my upper panel, which you'll I'll bring the card in. This is the lower panel, this is the upper panel. When you read the instruction sheet, if you go to my website, my Facebook group page, and download the tutorial, this is the lower panel, this is the upper panel. So okay, so that panel is the 2 5/8 by 3 7/8 with the designer series paper that measures 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. For my, let me pop that there so I can read that while I'm picking up the pieces. For my insert, you need a piece that is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8, and then a white layer, in this case, that measures 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. For your stand on the back, you need a piece that measures 5 5/8 by 2 1/2. Now I've contrasted this rather than make my stand the same colour as I have done on this one. That's because I'm running low on the Sahara Sand. So, and this colour is soft suede. For the corner catch, you need a piece that's 3 1/2 by 1 3/4 inches. Now I've already stamped and cut out my little peoples and pieces out of that set, so I'll pop those on one side, and these pieces is just for the oh, I can't think what it's called, sentiment on the front. How weird is that, not remembering. So I haven't put a size on my tutorial because everybody wants to make theirs whatever size they want, but the two pieces I'm using here are 1 1/8 by 3 1/8 and 7/8 by 2 7/8 of an inch. So that's what I'm using for my sentiment on the front. So let's get cracking, shall we? And we will start by scoring our main card on the long side at the 5 and, oh, itchy nose again, 5 7/8 mark. I've got my thing up the correct way today. In case you're wondering, I have said this before, but there are two ends on this, and one's thin end and this is a thicker end. The thin end is for scoring on cardstock, and the thicker end is for scoring on something like the designer series paper because it's thinner. So if you scored on that with this end, with the thin end, it's got a tendency to crack or rip through it. So you would use the thicker end so that you don't actually go right through it. So that we've done our scoring there, and now we're going to bring in our paper trimmer, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut off a piece that is 2 7/8 an inch off of one end, and this makes our layer that goes this way. That saves you wasting your card at all. Okay, so pop that over there with our other pieces, and this piece we can now fold and burnish. So that's our fold and burnished piece, and we don't want to stick that on there yet because we're going to put our layers on here. So why don't we do that now? Those are our layers for this one, and that's our layers for this half. So let's, I think that's the way around I've got them. Looks like I've got them the wrong way round. That's better. So that one goes on there and that one goes on there, because this is this piece on this side is 3 inches. This piece is 2 7/8 of an inch. Now you could have gone 2 15/16 on both of them, but you know that gets a bit complicated with the measurements. So we're going to go 3 inches and 2 7/8 of an inch. So we're going to glue our layers together. I don't like that side. It's, to me, even though it's just squares, it just seems way too busy. So I couldn't use that. But that's just me. Okie dokie. So that goes onto there. And this piece goes over to this side here, like so. And then we're going to just stick these two pieces together. Like so. And then this one onto here. And this one over to here. Okay, so that's done like that. We're not going to pop this onto here quite yet because I don't know which way around that looks best, because I need to know where it's going to go when we do our insert. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to do our insert stamping. Now, making sure that your card is landscape, not portrait. If you did decide that you wanted to do this portrait, you would have to cut down your stand for the back of the card. So let me just pop my pin in my glue because it does actually dry out too quickly for my liking. And we will bring in our soft suede ink, and I'm stamping up my It's the Most Beautiful Time of the World, and I'm going to stamp it closer to the left hand side rather than out here, so that when this panel is on here, it can't be seen around anywhere. So while we're doing that, we might as well stamp our other piece, which is our sentiment tag here, which says wishing you a Merry Christmas. And let's just get that nice and even on there. And, well, just perfect. So now that we've done that, let's pop that out of the way, and we're going to just, I don't need that bit from it, we're just going to glue this piece to this piece here, our inserts together. But we're not going to glue that to the inside of the card quite yet, because we need to make our catch. So let's pop that on there like so, and that's just sitting there nice and neatly, ready to go. And pop the pin in my glue again, and we're going to actually do our corner catch piece. Now that's our piece of card that's 3.5 by 1 3/4 inches. Now the best way to do this is actually on your scorer, your trimmer with your scoring tool, and you're going to put this in here at the 1 3/4 inch mark, and just make a tiny little mark at the top there, just so you can actually see it. And then we're going to pop this on the side like so at that mark, and the corner down the bottom, and yes, it will go. We're going to draw our score line down to that corner, and then we're going to do the same the other side. So from that mark to the other corner like so, and that's, pop that over there, that's our corner catch. So with this piece now, we're going to actually fold these two score lines under. Now it doesn't matter if they don't match up real well, mine don't. You're not going to see them at all. But this is the corner catch part of our card. And now this is actually going to go and stick glue onto this corner of our, if I can get it in there, or onto the corner of our card like so. So the best way is actually to pop it on like that, then open it up and taking the pin out, place your glue along this triangle here and squish it over, and the same with this one here, and pull that one over. That way you get a nice right into the corner. Otherwise you can get it baggy in that corner, and you don't really want it baggy in that corner. Once you've done that, we can now glue this to the inside of our card like so. Okay, so let's do that next. Oops. With this piece, you need to push it in fairly close on this edge here, so that you get a nice even edge around the other two sides. Because of this piece is a little bit more bulky, it actually sits out too far, so it's better if you come in a tiny bit like so. And now we can then work out where we're going to pop this piece. For me, it's about halfway, so the best way is to turn it over, and I'm going to then place my glue, let's turn it around this way because it's just a little bit easier for me, on this section here. Now I don't want to go too far, so it's always better to turn it over exactly where you want it, and then you can turn it back and you know that you've got it. You can always open it up just to make sure. I'm just eyeballing this into the centre of my card. If it looks a bit off, you can always move it while you've got your wiggle room. Okay, so that's that part of the card done, and that will now slide inside that piece here. With our stand, we are going to just, I've got my corner round here, I'm just going to corner round 2 corners, only because I think it always looks nicer. And then I'm just going to fold this in half. I haven't got a measurement for this because it is in 1/16 of an inch. I think on my tutorial I do have the measurements, but I wasn't going to try and work it out by hand. So I've done that down there, and I'm going to pop this onto the back of my card. Now I only want to glue one side of this. It doesn't matter which side, just one side. And we're going to making sure that we have the pocket here at the bottom. Turn the card over and place this about 1/2 inch, whatever that is in centimeters, I'm not sure offhand, from the bottom. That way, and you can see that that is even on these sides here. By bringing it up that piece like that, when it stands, it will stand with a bit of a lean so that it looks like a photo frame. And I think to me that works just perfectly. So now let's glue our sentiment together. And then I can pop my pin in my glue. That's my sentiment stuck together, and we can work out where we're going to pop these. Now I've already stamped and cut these out. I used real red and black and a little bit of grey just around his beard. So I think he needs to go about here with his trusty sleigh next to him here, with the little bird down on the bottom here with a star. And then my sentiment can go, maybe I should bring him down this way and put my sentiment up here. No, we'll put my sentiment down there, and we'll bring him up here. So let's bring in my dimensions, and we'll pop a little one on. This one's not cut. I didn't cut this one very well, did I? This one, that's a bit better. I don't know where I was when I cut that one. Obviously not with it. That's better. So I'll start by popping a little star in the corner here, and I think along where his feet are a bit yucky on that one too, so we'll pop a larger dimension on the back of him so that he will stand up down the bottom here. We'll start by putting our sleigh in here with a couple of dimensions. That way we can see where he's going to go. He can be holding onto it. If I trim that back along that edge there, right close to his hand, he will look like he's hanging on to that. That's better. So we will pop some dimensions onto the back of him. Pop a couple of small ones on his hands so we know he's holding on tight. And I won't put any on his hat because I'm not sure whether that's hanging off the edge or not. And it's better not to put it on and, you know, then put it on there and then it's sticking to the inside of the card. Okay, I could have put one there, so I will put one there. Let's see how I go doing that. Let's see. Can I get it in there? Yes, look at that. Just pull the backing off of that one, and his hat sitting down nicely. And I'll put a couple more on the back of this saying. And pop that down the bottom there. Oops, nope, that's right, it's not going to be on there. I thought it might have been on the inside. Oh, just a little bit maybe. So let's see if we can't move that across a tiny bit. That's it, that's better. That's much better. So he's stuck inside like so. And I have here some gems I haven't even used. Brush Metallic adhesive backed gems. So I'm going to use this one, which is, I don't know what that is, does it say? But it looks like a bronzy colour. So I'm going to use a couple of these bronzy ones for mine here. Oh wow, yes, that just right, just right. There we go. And that's our card for today. Now, except for the paper, everything else is available in the mini catalogue. So if you would like to purchase these items, please give me a call and we can organise that for you. And I absolutely think this is gorgeous. That is Sahara Sand and Soft Suede. This one is Granny Apple Green and Real Red. And unfortunately with this one it's actually retired, but this is very vanilla Night of Navy and Cherry Cobbler on there. And that's my card for today. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I really have enjoyed making it with you. What have I got wrong with this? This is all gone wonky on the edge there. Ooh. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.